Good morning and welcome to a Talk with Armani. I am your host, Armani Iman. I have a very exciting show planned for you today. There's so many talented people in the world, but nothing makes me more excited than to welcome our talented youth. When we come back, I will be sitting with a very, very talented man who had the opportunity to play a once in a lifetime role. I'll be right back. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. And of course, I'm your host, Armani Iman. I am sitting here with a very talented young man. You've heard of New Edition, you've heard of Bobby Brown, you've heard of the superstardom that these children started with and came into as grown men. And even today, their names are household names. They're known all over the world, not only for their singing, their dancing, and then in some cases, tragedies that have occurred in their life. The bottom line is we've grown up with these people and they've become part of us. I'm sitting here with a gentleman who had the opportunity to play one of these icons, if you will, Mr. Bobby Brown. And for that, I'm sure, was more than just an humbling experience, but also could have been titled an opportunity of a lifetime. Please join me in welcoming the young and very talented Tyler Williams.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, you heard what I said. New edition, today. You can go to any club, you can go to any show, you can go anywhere. You hear New Edition, people are jumping up, they are dancing, they can sing along the songs. But then when we get into New Edition, they kind of divided themselves in subgroups. And one of the subgroups, of course, the solo career of Bobby Brown was phenomenal. He went and did his thing. He is a multi-platinum recording artist. He has done all kinds of things. And you got the opportunity to play him as a child. How was that?
Well, it was a great opportunity just to be able to feel how it feels to be him. Mm-hmm. And I have many people tell me, oh, you act just like him, you look just like him. And I was like, well, I'm my own person. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if I have to take that step to get to how he is, then I will do so.
Okay. So when you were told about it, did you already know, because you're young, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Okay, so did you know who Bobby Brown was?
Yes, I actually did.
Okay. So you had heard his music, you followed him, were you a fan of his music? Did you think, sometimes when we're children, like with me, I'm a child, Janet Jackson is dancing, I'm trying to control, you know what I mean? Did you find yourself doing some of the Bobby Brown things? Was it a fan type appreciation, or was it just like, oh, I know who Bobby Brown is?
I knew who he was. I knew about his music, but because me and, we have two different generations of music, so, it wasn't something that I listened to, on a daily basis.
Okay.
But it was something that if I came across it, oh, I know the moves, I know the song.
Okay.
So I could just, jam out to it.
Okay, so was it easy for you to jam out in front of the camera? It's Bobby Brown.
Well, I like to dance.
Okay.
I like to act, and if I have to act like I'm enjoying it, then I will do so because, that's just me.
It was a lot of hard work.
Yes, very.
Okay. Did you find yourself trying to emulate, because there's not a lot of footage of the younger Bobby Brown. A lot of things that we see now on the internet is the older Bobby Brown, the Bobby Brown who is, the 40-year-old, the 30-year-old, that Bobby Brown. There's not a lot of 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old Bobby Brown other than videos. So are you watching and getting prepared for this role? Were you watching more of the videos? How did you come to embody the essence of Bobby?
Well, when I looked at the script, it showed me a lot about New Edition that I didn't know.
Okay.
So, looking at the script, thinking about how the group came to be, what they did before they actually had, a manager, what they did before they even had 5 people in the group.
Right.
So, just thinking about that, it made me feel like, oh, I'm really coming to become this character. Mm-hmm. Because I have to go through everything they had to go through as children.
Okay. Now let me ask you, because of course that was a fantastic role, but you've done other things.
Yes, I actually was on the Triumph Awards
Okay.
in 2015
Okay.
with Tashina Campbell.
Oh, wow. So that was exciting.
Yes, very.
And then and you continue to study and you're of course in school.
Yes.
So and when you're so are you like a celebrity to your friends? Like
Well, I mean, when I'm around school, like, they call me, hey, Lil Bobby, and then just keep going on with my day.
Wow. So what are you working on now?
I can't say.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I mean, hey, we've got big things in the works.
Yes.
Let's just suffice it to say that we have not heard the last of you and that you'll
Definitely
continue
not.
to do more things. With acting and singing, so do you sing on your own? Like are you an accomplished singer? Do you have like songs out?
Actually, I can't say.
Okay.
But when you watch the movie, that is our voices on the tracks.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
our voices. We went into the studio with Babyface and re-recorded all of the songs that you hear us perform.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very, very interesting. Was Bobby on the set at all while you were doing this?
Yes, he was there most of the time.
Okay.
Just guiding me through whatever I needed to do. Whatever he, like, on that certain day, if I didn't have on the right thing, he would tell me, oh, I remember having this on. Oh, I wouldn't wear that. I would wear this. And he would tell me, like, oh, I wouldn't say that. I would say it this way.
Okay.
So I just had to, like, go off what he said and do it the way he wanted me to.
And that had to be a very, very, humbling experience because the
Very.
person that you're playing is right there on set.
Yes.
But did it make you feel even more nervous? Like, oh my goodness, I got to get this right.
It made me feel more comfortable because it made me feel, oh, I'm making this more how he wants me to do. And the way that he made me want to do it is, like, the way he wanted me to do it is more of the way I would have wanted to do it myself.
Okay.
So, like, we have that sort of connection there.
Okay. How did you get into acting? Like, what did you wake up one morning and say, Mom, I want to be an actor? Like, how did you get to this path?
I've been doing acting since I was 4.
Okay.
And this is just something I've been wanting to do for my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing, acting, singing, performing arts in general. This is just something I wanted to do.
Okay. So, in other projects, have we seen you in other projects earlier on than this? Like, what else have you done?
Like I said, the Triumph Awards.
Okay.
I performed for Brave New Voices here in Atlanta
Okay.
with my company, Youth Ensembles of Atlanta.
Okay. Okay. So, let's talk about Youth Ensembles of Atlanta. Let's talk about that. Tell me exactly what it is and what it does.
They started in 1990. It's a performing arts company. We've done plenty of performances. I started like about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And they're actually the ones who helped me land this role.
Okay. So, and you go around and perform with them, and they have different
Yes.
sections of the company. So, some of it is dancing, some of it is singing, some of it.
We do all 3 in 1.
Oh, wow.
So when we go and perform for places, we're dancing, singing, and acting at the same time.
Oh, so you're just a triple threat. You can have, we can't, I can sing, I can dance, I can perform. I am an entertainer.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. So we want to continue to follow you and see what's going on with you, and then find out when the release of the movie, because the movie's coming out soon, right?
Oh, wow. We have 8 more days?
Oh, okay.
8 more days.
So how excited is that for you?
It's great. It's just a humbling experience, like, just knowing it's this close. Like, I remember back when we were waiting all the way in July, back at the BET Awards when they first showed our first preview.
Okay.
And now we're 8 days away, and it's almost here. And it's like, I could almost grab it.
I know. I'm so excited. Like, you're making me excited. It's like, oh, let me go ahead and DVR this because we'll be somewhere else doing something else. But I'm sure are you going to have a party?
We're actually going to LA
Okay.
for
The screening.
yes.
Oh, well, that's going to be exciting as well. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for joining me
Thank you
and
for
talking
having me.
about your experiences. And I wish you the most success.
Thank you.
And your personality is so beautiful and humbling. And I'm just so glad that you have that with you because that'll help along the way. I know that acting and trying to do different things become hard, and some of the times it seems trying. But as long as you continue to believe in yourself and you listen to your inner conscience, like you said, some things that he wanted you to do was the same way you wanted to do them anyway, and it just felt good doing it that way. Yeah. As long as you continue to listen to those voices, I don't think you'll go wrong. I think you'll continue to enjoy success. So thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and if we want to keep track of you, your social media is?
My Instagram is official Tyler Williams.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So we're going to check out official Tyler Williams on Instagram and see what's going on with him. And, I know a lot of people call you Little Bobby, but hey, I want to make sure that Tyler continues to have the success that he's starting out with. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to A Talk with Armani. And of course, you're sitting here with Armani Iman. Dayara, I've seen so many things. Most recently, we lost George Michael in December of last year.
Yeah.
And then almost immediately, there was an article that said that George Michael died alone and broke. But then CNN says that he's got all these people coming forth to claim his $200 million estate.
I don't know what broke is for those people.
So how did he die alone and broke with a $200 million estate? That doesn't make sense to me.
At all.
The social media that is the news, the fake news that's going on. And then you heard about, again, and we talked about this, a couple weeks ago, Pizzagate.
Yes.
How all during the election, all kinds of fake news was going on simply to poison the election.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that's the reason why our president is who he is today.
Well, who do we have to blame for that? You know what I mean? Everybody is reporting first. Not reporting the truth, but reporting first. So as consumers, we are the ones reading this stuff. We are the ones promoting this stuff. We are the ones listening to this. So who's really at fault? Are they at fault for posting this? Or are we at fault for spreading it?
Well, okay. I can understand when we say about posting it. You've got, maybe a housewife or a college student that posts something. I'm talking about journalists. Yeah. Like, we've got journalists that are actually preparing and airing and printing reports with bylines that they are not fact checking their information.
Yeah.
They are not. I watched an episode of Law and Order. And I don't know if I can say that, but I love Law and Order. But I watched an episode of Law and Order where a news reporter ran with a story, and the story but the story was not true. He did not check his facts. Anyway, the running of that story led to somebody getting mad, led to somebody getting killed, led to murder. And now because he didn't take the 10 to 15 minutes to check his facts, people are dead. They are in jail. And even though it was a fictional story on Law and Order, it says from the beginning, it's ripped from the headlines, it has happened. We saw it
true facts.
Based on true facts. We saw it during the election. There was so many different things that were reported about Hillary that Hillary probably didn't even know.
Oh yeah, and we all believe it. We're like sheep, human beings. Like, we want to believe whatever is coming out. We don't care anymore whether it's true or not. Hillary obviously probably didn't even know most of the things. Some of the things they were probably making to let out purposely.
And then there's this other thing. Over in London, there was a former B-16 agent or MI-16 agent, B-16. I'm going all the way to Scandal. Oh, my God. Life is just, I don't know what's television and what's life anymore.
I'm just live in a virtual
what's real?
reality.
Like, what's real today?
Yes.
But
nothing.
It was a former M16 agent who had these documents that had something to do with Trump and Russia, and there's all this news. Now here's the part which gets crazy. because now we have to run through the web of lies
Right.
to come to the truth. Because now everybody's talking about Russia.
Yes.
And how basically they're a puppeteer. I mean, and Trump is the puppet. You know, that's how he got elected. They said that the Russians hacked the election.
Yes.
You know, they said that the Russians have planted all this information. There's documents that's been leaked. There's all kinds of things that are going on. And now people are saying, but is that fake news? Maybe that's not fake news. Maybe that's real news. Maybe in this world where fake news has become so prevalent, we don't know what the truth is.
Well, I think politics is so corrupted anyway. You know, I think all our politicians are corrupted. I think Hillary's corrupted. I think Trump is corrupted. I'm sure Obama's corrupted. Like, they're, you know, that whole life.
Ooh, okay, go ahead.
It's one big corruption, okay? Really, we just need to clear out house everywhere and just start all over.
How do we do that?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
impossible.
That's a whole nother
yeah. I mean, I don't know. People say, well, they don't do this over here in, London because there's a queen, there's a royal family. So it's basically you do what we say, but that's not a true statement because there's Parliament, which is the equivalent of, Congress. So I don't know. As far as how we would fix it, the only thing that I've seen is a totalitarian government where we would have a dictator where you're going to do what you said and like it, and that's pretty much it. But what can we do? We're in the United States of America, which is supposed to be the freest place in the world.
I like how you said that's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be held prisoner by any of our beliefs or by our thoughts. This is the place of the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, all the rest of the amendments, all these amendments that give us the right to do what? Print false news.
Yeah, to be
tell lies.
Ignorant.
And then if somebody gets mad at you, the right to bear arm.
Yeah, and then we just shoot them.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I will say United States of America is the best country in the world to live in. No matter how fake or crazy our news is, our presidency going on, everything, still the best country in the world because we do not see war on our streets. And the only war we do see is the war we create within ourselves as human beings.
But then there's conversation that these wars, these drug wars, these firearm wars, they have been instigated by the government. It's been has been the contention of vast many people that the CIA was responsible for the influx of heroin and crack into the urban neighborhoods. So isn't that a type of war on the streets? I mean, at the end of the day, there's no transparency because there's no truth. Because we have no idea what's
we really don't
real.
know what's going on.
And the saddest part about it is it could be an unsuspecting reporter that will go and report a story and is based typically off of what they've been told. So if they were told lies, then they will report lies, and then the newspaper will print lies, and then we will read lies and then ultimately believe lies.
Yeah, because we don't care. We don't care. We, honest to God, do not care about the truth. We just want to know. We've created two different worlds for ourselves. We live in our everyday life where we get up, we go to work, we do this and that, and then we have our virtual reality where we are someone else.
Do we not care, though? I care. Do we not care? Have we gotten to a point where we really believe that ignorance is bliss?
I think we might have. I think we're heading towards that direction. I think that people are more entertained by celebrities and, entertainers than they are about what's really happening in the world. You know what I mean? I don't think we care like we used to. Not like the way our parents cared. They didn't, they marched the streets for reasons. They didn't just march to, to march and commit vandalism and this, that. No, there was a purpose. Okay. Okay. So, we got to do better.
Yes, we do.
We have to do better in the world. We do.
Right. Well, I don't know what we can do about fake news, but I will tell you this. We have all been given the ability to think for ourselves. So sometimes when we read things, they may seem so far-fetched that it can't possibly be true, but maybe it is. And then in other cases, some things may seem so believable that maybe it's not. We just have to really depend on our own sensibilities to cipher through the dust and hopefully arrive at a version of the truth that makes sense.
I told my sister that this year. I said 2017 is going to be the year that I call everybody out. Every time somebody says, "Oh, this happened," I'm going to be like, "How? How do you know that?"
Right.
Who told you?
Fact
check
checking.
everything.
We have to fact
Everything.
check. At the end of the day, be your own fact checker. Do not depend on anyone to tell you what you should think, what you should know, or what your truth is. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. And of course, I'm Armani Iman. You heard today that so many different things influence the environment, influence the world, influence the way we think about things. But ultimately, we have the ability to form our own opinions. All these amendments that we stand by and we say protect us actually do, but it is our job to use them. There is no amendment specifically enumerated that states that you have the freedom to believe or the freedom to understand or the freedom to fact check, but that is your unalienable right to do so. You have the right to check out anything that you are told, anything that you read, anything that you see. And if it is not exactly as it's written or as described, you also have the right to call that out and to expose. Let's not follow the path of the three blind mice who actually further a bad situation by not doing anything once we know the truth. It was once said that the sins of the hypocrite are more vastly visited upon them, and the punishment will be worse because they knew the truth and they chose to go a different way. If you see something and you know it's not right, say something about it. If you understand a different way of view and you can teach somebody the truth and show them the light, then I believe it's our job. It's our duty, not only as human beings, but as Americans, to make sure that we continue to fight to see not only the light, but the truth. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.